Welcome to the Willy 1033 Community Spotlight, where we put a spotlight on our East Texas community. Here's Willy Station Manager Steve Rixx.
Welcome into the Community Spotlight here on Willy 1033. We have a very special guest joining us this morning. I'm really excited about it. One of my Lufkin High School classmates from 1985. He's slightly older than me. Kevin Blake Weldon joins me. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great until you mentioned what year we graduated. Now everybody knows I'm not 26 anymore, bro.
We still look good, though.
We both do. Not just me, right. Man. You do too, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Kevin is here to talk about something very exciting. There's a lot to this. You started in music when you were much younger, and you've done all the things. You went to Nashville and you sang in a duo. I'd almost forgotten about that duo that you guys were with back in the day. That was really cool. So you had some success, and then times got a little difficult, as they do in the business. So let's jump right in and talk about this new project and kind of summarize how it all came together for us.
Awesome, Steve. I'd love to, and I appreciate being here this morning. It's been a long time since I've seen you, my friend.
Absolutely. We're going to get together for that lunch and compare notes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I got into country music years ago. Like you said, it's pretty much all I've ever really done was heart-centered anyway. We all do things, that we have to do at times. But, I wrote a song after I transitioned out of Nashville.
Yes.
What'd you call it earlier? Shifted.
We're going in a different direction.
After I decided to go in a different direction, not necessarily country music, just where I was recording it.
Right.
We froze up again. I came back to Lufkin, and the church that I grew up in, the First United Methodist Church, does an evening in Old Bethlehem every year, and they asked me if I would sing for a special church service that they were going to have in the Expo Center. And I agreed to do it. And out of that, I agreed to write an original song for the service. And I've been struggling with writer's block, and I thought maybe this will help me get out of that writer's block. And long story short, it did. I wrote a song called The Wish List, and I performed it that Sunday. Got a standing ovation. It's a song that's meant a lot to me. But it took me until 2009, Steve, until I actually recorded it on a Christmas album, which I did. The album's called The Wish List. But all during this time, I kept seeing this in my mind. I kept seeing this developed into a movie. And it took me until 2022, as it often does. One of these days I'm gonna, I'll say that. I just kept saying, one of these days I'm going to write a movie script about the wish list. And I finally started working on it. I finished the script in December, at the end of December of 2022, and that's when the journey began. I mean, it's a crazy roller coaster story from there until now. A lot more of that story will come out, when we've got more time. I want to be respectful of my time here with you, but from hiring consultants to meeting with investors to traveling all over the country, garnering support. It culminated with an event that I did out in LA back in September of last year. I met a guy that heard me talking about the movie. He said, I need to introduce you to a friend of mine named Glenn Morshower. And he said, you know Glenn Morshower, don't you? And I'm like, he showed me a picture. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
As soon as you see his picture, you know who he is. You've seen everything, right?
Yes. As soon as you see Glenn's picture, you'll know. He was Agent Aaron Pierce in the series 24.
Oh, yeah.
Weldon. He was in there for, I think, 7 years. He's been on in all the Transformer movies. He was in Under Siege. He's in the Call of Duty video.
Yeah.
His most recent project is Manhunt, that's out on Apple TV, where he plays President Andrew Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. He's got great reviews. But anyway, I met Glenn through this mutual friend. I got in this acting workshop to help me get prepared because I'm going to be starring in this movie, and this will be my first acting role. So it's not as easy as it looks, I'll tell you. So I got into Glenn's acting workshop, and after about 3 months or so, I was going to be back in Lufkin to visit my family, and Glenn lives in Dallas, and he offered to meet up for lunch, which we did. I drove over to Canton. He and his wife Carolyn drove down and met me. We met for about 4 hours and had a wonderful, wonderful visit. And at the end of the meeting, I finally had enough courage to ask him if I could send him a movie script. And so, you and I were talking about this earlier, Steve. It's like being in Nashville. Once people know that you're in the music business or the movie business, everybody's got a song, everybody's got a movie script. And I didn't want to be that guy. But before I could even get it out of my mouth, Clint said, I would love to read it. Send it to me, Kev. So I sent him the script. He read it, fell in love with it. He said, not only do I want to help you, he said, I want to direct this movie. So Glenn Morshower, this will be his directing debut, which is something very exciting for all of us. It's something he's wanted to do for a long time. He's got the opportunity to do that now. He's also going to be co-starring with me. He's going to play the role of Sam Morshower, who is my manager in the movie. My character is named Blake Austin. I did keep my middle name. Don't ask me why. I just think Blake. But Blake Austin, I'm an aging country music singer, struggling in my career. I've lost my parents in a tragic car accident. I was in it with them. I had survivor's guilt, struggling with my faith, struggling with love life, struggling in every area of my life.
Right.
I get a call from a realtor friend of mine back in my hometown asking if I would be interested in selling my mom and dad's house. Some time has gone by, and I'm thinking, maybe this will help me get some closure and get on with my life. My manager says, I think it's a great idea. So I come back to my hometown to see if I can bring myself to sell the home that I grew up in. And it's a very emotional decision. It's I meet a girl when I come back. Of course, you got to have that element. Sure. And there's a fundraising element in the movie. It's called The Wish List, which is where the title comes from. And Natalie, the girl that I meet, started a fundraiser in the hometown there to raise money for the local orphanage. Her dad was an orphan growing up. And when he passed away, he said, please don't forget the boys and Mrs. Ellis at the boys' home. So she comes up with this idea to raise money, and it's the Wish List fundraiser. And what it is, it's a scroll that she gets donations from around the town, and people donate like free coffee for a year, free car wash, different things like that. And it's all donated. And then they sell these scrolls in the local businesses for like $25, and all the money goes to the boys' home. So I hear about it. I've already met Natalie. I'm wanting to get close to her. I can see their spark. So I offer to help with this fundraiser. And we develop a little romance. And then there's a jealous ex that's involved, and he happens to be a police officer. And then there's all kinds of hurtful things, but also wonderful things that happen. And there's a homeless guy with a little boy. There's a miracle at the end of the movie. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie of love and light and inspiration and healing and hope. And it's something that everybody that's read the script, there's only been a handful of people, they have absolutely fallen in love with it. And it's something that's very, very important to me, Steve. And so of all the places around the country that have been vying to get it, I wanted to bring it back to East Texas. I wanted to shoot this movie in and around Lufkin. So I recently signed a new management contract. My manager is a guy named Kim Fitzhugh. I think you've actually talked to him a time or two.
Yep.
He's in Florida. He's the executive producing the movie. And we are going to be filming the movie in and around Lufkin, Texas this year. So very excited. I can't go into too much of the details, but the city of Lufkin is behind it. We're very excited. Some of the proceeds that we're going to generate from various events that we're going to do, as well as the movie itself, are going to go to benefit the Crisis Center of East Texas, and also the Boys and Girls Club with Kiwanis. So we don't want to just have the fundraising element in the movie. We also want to bring it into real life, Steve. So, and another really cool thing about it is I've written all of the songs for the soundtrack. And I'm very excited because there's some very personal songs in there for me. One of them is a song called Yesterday Road. That's about the house that we all grew up in. And there is a song called Christmas Time in My Hometown that actually has a line in the song that says Rudolph's Rockin' in the mall parking lot.
Oh, yeah, man.
We got to change that now to Rudolph's Rockin' in the bank parking lot. But
yeah,
there's just some wonderful songs that I've written over the years, and some that I've written exclusively for the movie that will be out on the soundtrack. So it's just a great project, Steve. I'm very excited, and I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to come visit with you to share more about it with you this morning.
I'll tell you what, the fact that you're bringing the fundraising out of the movie into real life, That is an element that I absolutely love and wholeheartedly support. I think that is a phenomenal idea. And the fact that it fits in so well in the movie sounds like one of those movies that I would like to watch. It's one of those that you would gather the family around every year and make it a tradition.
Yes. Absolutely, Steve. And that's what I envisioned when I first started thinking about this, because there are some favorites that everyone has. But the really neat thing about this, Steve, is although the movie does take place, most of it does take place around Christmas time, it's really not just a Christmas movie. It's a movie about love and healing and struggling in the faith and overcoming that, and then relationships and just it's just love and light. It'll make you cry. It'll make you laugh. It'll inspire you. And it's just, it's something that it's the most important thing that I've done. And I'm so excited, Steve, and I'm very, very passionate about it. It's something that means everything to me. So again, it had to be filmed here. We couldn't film this in Oklahoma or Kentucky or Georgia or Utah or LA. For me, it had to be filmed here.
Well, I'm excited that you worked so hard to get us to get East Texas shown in this and be filmed in this. What an exciting thing for all of us to be a part of, and a feel-good movie that delivers a message is always those are just the best. I love coming out of a movie like that and feeling good.
Oh, you're gonna feel it's. I'm telling you. I mean, I wish I could just tell you everything, but everybody is gonna love it. I mean, you can't please everybody, Steve. I know that, but I mean, you'd have to be really bitter not to love this. And the way it ends is just so heartwarming, and the miracle will literally have you in shock and tears rolling down your face. And I just getting back real quick to the fundraising element part of it, the giving part of it. There's a lot of need in this world. We know that. And there's so many different things that you can do, but growing up, and I'm sure you can remember the way you felt when you woke up on Christmas morning. When you woke up, you couldn't wait to get to that Christmas tree. And if not for just at least one day out of the year, things were good.
Right.
In spite of everything else. I mean, you got the toy you wanted, hopefully, but unfortunately, in real life, there's a lot of kids that don't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that used to, I mean, I could work myself up into some tears right now. I'm not going to do it, but I could by thinking about it. But that, to me, that's one of the most heartbreaking things, because it just represents hope. And there's so much need for that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, listen, people say, oh, Kevin, they're just going to take the toys and sell them for whatever. No, I refuse to believe that. Whether it happens or not, I'm still going to go forward, and I want our contributions to be earmarked for that. And we've been very careful to specifically say this money's earmarked for Christmas for kids, for underprivileged kids. So that's what we're going to benefit, and that's what we want to see this eventually build into as we get a little bit further down the road. Is a full-fledged nonprofit organization that supports kids and supports
absolutely
that need.
Kevin Blake Weldon joining me here this morning to talk about the Wish List, a movie that's going to be filmed in and around East Texas. And of course, Kevin's written all the music, and he's going to be starring in the film. And we're very excited about this. Thank you for taking some time and jumping on here and getting a brief catch up in your life. Like I said, we got to, whenever we have lunch, it's going to be a long lunch. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Make sure you don't have anything major to do, bro.
Absolutely. I'm going to clear the calendar, clear the afternoon.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Kevin, thank you so much, buddy.
Hey, real quick though, before we hop off, I would like to say we do have a Facebook page dedicated to the movie and to getting more information out. So if you guys want to, it's just the Wish List movie. You can find it on Facebook. Just go search the Wish List movie and follow us. And we're going to be posting some behind the scenes things, some updates, stories, keep everybody updated on what we're doing. But we would love to have you guys, because there is going to be a need for some crowds and some extras and things like that. So if you have any desire for something like that, then you're certainly going to want to be following us. So
that's awesome.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. I look forward to seeing you. I know that we'll catch up soon. Kevin Blake Weldon joining us on the Community Spotlight here this morning. We'll see you soon, buddy. Okay.
Awesome, Steve. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.